Hello dear students, hope you all are doing well. So your corporate and other laws paper is done for September 24 and today we are discussing the MCQs relating to this paper. I am going to be covering the company law MCQs. Let's dive right into it. So first of all, we are going to take up the case scenario 1. Case scenario 1 is relating to companies incorporated outside India. Let's start reading this case. So, Combat Gaming Limited is a company incorporated outside India with a place of business in Rajasthan. So, this company is covered by our chapter. It is a company incorporated outside India. To improve the gaming software, the company wanted to apply artificial intelligence technology in order to raise more funds to meet their investment cost. The company decided to issue shares. To issue the prospectus, the company it issued prospectus of the company which was properly dated and signed according to the provisions of the Companies Act and delivered them to the Registrar of Companies on 16th of August 23. The registrar on verification of the documents found that the particulars in the prospectus are incomplete. So what is happening? This company is issuing shares. For that it has issued prospectus. It has filed the prospectus, but the prospectus is rejected because some documents are incomplete. The directors scrutinized the documents and during the scrutiny it was observed by the CFO that there was a mistake in one of the documents delivered to the Registrar of Companies and it altered that document on 29th of September 2023. So we know when a company incorporated outside India, whenever such a company, they will have to register itself with the Registrar of Companies in India in New Delhi, right? Once they submit all of the documents for registration, if any of the documents that are submitted, if they are altered, then we know then the altered documents also have to be resubmitted to the Registrar of Companies in New Delhi. This is given in your section number 380 of the Companies Act, right? So here see, this company has changed some of the documents and the date of changing or altering the documents is 29th of September 2023. Okay. Now analyze based on the above scenario the answer to the following question. So the first MCQ is that this company has made alteration in the documents. This company has made alteration to the documents delivered to the registrar. They shall intimate to the Registrar of Companies by what date. So whatever alterations they have done, by what date should they inform the Registrar of Companies? Okay. So section 380 says that if any documents are altered within 30 days of alteration, such intimation should be sent to Registrar of Companies. So we have to calculate 29th September plus 30 days. So that will come to 29th of October. So that is going to be your correct option. So MCQ 1, your correct answer is going to be A, which is 29th of October, that is 30 days from alteration. This one is a very easy question. Combat Gaming Limited has to deliver the required document along with appropriate fees to which Registrar of Companies? In Rajasthan, or the Controller and Auditor General Office in New Delhi, or Registrar of Companies in New Delhi, or the Company Law Board in New Delhi. So here the answer is very simple. It is C, which is Registrar of Companies in New Delhi. All the companies, foreign companies, okay, they will have to submit their documents to the Registrar of Companies in New Delhi. Moving on to question number 3. Let's read the question, which is the third question. According to the Companies Registration of Foreign Companies Rules 2014 of the Companies Act, which of the following documents shall be not annexed with the prospectus? Please note and be careful. It says which of the following documents are not to be annexed with the prospectus. This foreign company, it is issuing a prospectus because it is issuing shares. Right. Now with the prospectus there are certain list of documents that have to be submitted. Which of these documents is not to be attached? First of all, any consent to issue the prospectus required from any person who is an expert, this is required to be attached. Statement of preliminary expense, this is something which is not required. The companies, a copy of contract for appointment of managing director or manager, and in case of contract not reduced into writing, a memorandum. This is again required to be attached with the prospectus. A copy of underwriting agreement, this is also to be attached. Okay, so point number B is our correct answer. Preliminary expenses need not be attached, otherwise expert statement, managing director or manager's appointment letter, underwriting agreements, they have to be attached. Where is it written? It is written in your registration of foreign companies rules. Now let's look at case scenario 4, which is relating to acceptance of deposits chapter. Okay, let's read this. So we have ABC Publications Limited. It has accepted deposits from the public to the tune of 70 lakh rupees on 1st May 21 for a period of 36 months at the interest of 10% per annum. The repayment would be made on 30th April 24, which is 3 years basically, or 36 months. It has complied with all the requirements as per the Act. All right. Second paragraph. One of the depositors, Mr. Y, was in urgent need of the money as his son wanted to pursue higher education. His total deposit with the company was 10 lakh rupees. On 1st June 2022, he sent his request to the company asking for premature repayment. Okay, now in the acceptance of deposits rules, what is mentioned about premature repayment? So if any of the depositor requests premature repayment of the deposit, it cannot be done before 6 months. That is first thing. Second, he will receive 1% less interest. So here we know the interest is 10%. So here Mr. Y is going to get 1% less, which is 9% interest. Okay, for a period which is from the date of accepting the deposit till now. So we'll have to calculate 1st May till 1st June. It is going to be 13 months. All right, so with respect to that, we have an MCQ. Let's look at it. So MCQ 12 reads, advise this company regarding the amount of interest that has to be paid to Mr. Y. Company cannot make premature repayment. A is wrong. Company needs to make premature repayment at 10%. Again wrong. It's either C or D. C says 9% interest can be paid for 13 months. D says 9% interest for 11 months. So here our correct option is going to be C, which is 13 months, 9% interest. Now let's continue reading the passage. Next paragraph. Another depositor, Mr. U, has deposited 6 lakh in his name. On 18th of September, he sent an application to the company to change the name in the deposits and make it into joint holding in the name of himself, his wife and 2 children. Can this request be accepted? Now with respect to that also we have an MCQ. Okay, so see, with respect to deposits, how many maximum joint holders can be there? So the rules say that maximum 3 joint holders can be there. All right. So let's look at the MCQ. Here this person wants to have 4 joint holders, himself, his wife and 2 children. Is it allowed? No. He can have only 3 joint holders. So question 10 reads, advise this company regarding Mr. U's request. You cannot have deposits with joint holding. That is wrong. The deposit can be held by only you and his wife. Again wrong. Deposit can be held by Mr. U, his wife and 2 children. That is wrong because it's 4 joint holders. D option says deposit can be held by Mr. U and any 2 members. That is correct. So D's are correct option here. Let's move on and read the passage ahead. Another depositor. Oh, this we have read. So we are reading next paragraph. In addition to the deposits received from the public, the company has also raised funds by amount received from the public sector bank by issue of bonds and debentures and any amount against and some amount against some commercial papers as per Reserve Bank of India. Okay. So now the company, other than the issue of deposits to the public, the company has also raised commercial paper as per RBI guidelines and it has raised some bonds and debentures from public sector banks. Now with respect to that we have one question. Let's look at it. Question 11. The banker of ABC Publication Limited wants a list of deposits accepted by the company. Advise the company on what among the following constitute the deposits. So we have to basically say which of these 4 is considered deposits. Now, what is deposit? You should know the meaning of deposits. For that, we need the acceptance of deposits rules. In the acceptance of deposits rules, we have got some exceptions which are not to be considered as deposits, right? In rule number 2, those are given. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. Accordingly, we will have to answer which of these is a deposit. Amount raised from bonds and debentures, that is covered in exception, so it is not a deposit. Any non-interest bearing amount received or held in trust, again this is also not deposit. Amount received from public, yes, that is deposit. D, amount raised through the issue of commercial paper as per RBI. This is again not a deposit. So, our correct answer here is C, which is amount received from public. Now, let us look at some independent MCQs. So, we are reading question 13, which is from your General Clause Act. Okay, an act has been passed by the government, and though sufficient time has elapsed since the act was passed, it has not been brought into force. Which of the following is correct as per the General Clause Act? Okay, so what is happening here? The government has passed an act, but it has not enforced it. It has not placed a date on which it is going to take action. It will be implemented. So, can the court do anything about it? What does the General Clause Act say? Alright. So, now with respect to that, we have a case. This case is A.K. Roy versus Union of India. In this case, it was the exact same situation, and it was decided that in such case, the court can issue a mandamus with a view to compel the government to bring the act into action. Okay, so the court can definitely issue a mandamus to the government and ask it to bring the act into action. Alright, so accordingly we will have to select the correct answer. Option A, the court can issue a mandamus with a view to compel the government to bring the act into operation. A is the correct answer, but we are going to read the other three options also. The court through writ direct the government to consider the question as to when the act should begin to operate. This is not right. Company can publish a date in the official gazette as an effective date. That is wrong. The court does not have power to fix a date on the act. The court cannot direct the government. Again, that is incorrect. So, our correct option here is A. Let's move on. Question number 14. With reference to the provisions of the General Clause Act, in all the legislation and regulation, unless there is anything repugnant in the subject or context, words importing masculine gender shall be taken. So, now in the General Clause Act, we have got section number 13, which says that in any act, whenever masculine gender is used, it includes female gender also, unless something else has been mentioned, unless there is an exception specifically mentioned. Okay, so here masculine gender shall include females also. So here your correct option is going to be D. Very, very simple. Moving on. Question 15. Superbrain Coaching Limited is engaged in offline coaching of the students for various competitive exams. It is one of the pioneers in the field. It has suffered some losses to various institutions. On this account, it has defaulted in repayment of term loan for the first 2 quarters of the financial year 23-24. However, Superbrain Coaching Limited adapted itself and changed its circumstances. It started online coaching and revived its financial conditions. On 31st December 2023, it cleared all its dues. Now, this company wants to issue equity shares with differential rights. When can they make the issue? So, this question is relating to your differential voting right equity shares, which is covered in your section 43 chapter share capital and debentures, right. Now, this company had made a default in payment of the loan. Now, this company has repaid and has made good that default on 31st of December 23. Can it issue differential equity shares, differential right equity shares? So, what does section 43 and the rules say? It say the differential right equity shares can be issued after 5 years of making good any default in repayment of term loan. So, that means for the past 5 years before the company decides to issue differential equity shares, differential right equity shares, the last 5 years, the company should not have made any default in repayment of the term loan, right? So here from 31st December 2023, for the next 5 years, this company cannot issue differential right equity shares, right? So that means till 31st December 2028, it cannot issue differential right equity shares. After that, from 1st January 2029, it can issue. So from 1st January 2029 or later, it can issue such shares. So our correct answer here is going to be A. So these were all the MCQs that came in your September 24 paper relating to company law.